we're going to explore together current needs and new realities, the taboos that surround the industry that I work in. It's my life work to change those taboos. I'll share those with you. Tips on how to adapt and adjust as we live, as we age. We're all going to age together today for about half a day. We have to adapt and adjust as we go. And what to keep in mind legally as well. There are different things. And then the approach of keeping it light so that it feels right. Aging. We're all aging and living right where we are. Whether you're living in a retirement residence, in a bungalow, in a condo, we're all aging. So for me, it's about constantly adapting and adjusting to our current needs and new realities as we live in the present, but also plan for our future. Current needs. I have a friend who broke his ankle, who lives on the second floor, a vibrant 36-year-old cook from a restaurant. He didn't know what to do. He moved in with his girlfriend because she was on the main floor in a space that was more adapted for him. He was young, vibrant, a broken foot, changed his routine, his life, his income, the whole thing, right? It doesn't matter how old we are. A spouse with Parkinson's, if my spouse has Parkinson's, I can't get out there as much. I need to go do groceries. What do I do when he's alone? I need to figure out those solutions for myself on a daily basis. We're all living different things. I just helped a couple move. They had an autistic son, 35, still living at home with them. They needed to adapt, remove the stairs from the house, so they moved to a condo. Tired of maintaining a big home? When we live in a big house, when we live upstairs of a duplex, all of these kind of things, I don't know what you're living. If you're widowed, divorced, living alone, family of 3, right? When is it time for us to go play and go on a cruise and travel the world? That's our decision, our choice. And there is so much in the conversation of how we adapt and adjust that digs our heels in. And I want to work with you today to try and lighten those heels out of that mud. The tip and trick is to stay on our toes so that we're constantly able to adapt and adjust. Life is light. Life is heavy. But if we dig in our heels, we'll carry more weight of what it offers than if we're able to pivot. And that, to me, that advice came from my basketball coach when I was in high school. You can't move and you can't win a basketball game if you're heavy, right? You got to stay on your toes and pivot all the time. Shh. The conversation I work in, that I help people with, is so filled with taboos. And honestly, this is my life's work, and I feel like I hold the answer. I'm going to ask you to close your eyes if you feel safe with me. Close your eyes, and I'm going to read some sentences. I put my mom in a home. We will force them. They have no choice. We'll shove them. We'll place them. How does that sound to your heart? And if you open your eyes, there is so much bulldozing in our language. It crosses everybody's arms. It lowers our eyes. There is tension in the air. There are people who cry in my arms when I come into their homes to help them adapt and adjust. There is so much silence. And what I hear, she is so stubborn. Is she? I would be just as stubborn if you forced, made, placed, put, shoved, made me do something. We, and I'm sorry I'm so emotional, we do not talk to our children like this. I don't know at what age, when somebody needs help, that our language is filled with bulldozing. And I want to change that. It is about helping people adapt, adjust, relocate, move, downsize, light size, help them, accompany them, encourage them, Find solutions. Doesn't that sound so much better? My life's mission, to empower seniors, is that our words matter. Pardon the emotion, wow. But what is your current setup? Where are you living and what is feeling heavy? Are there stairs? Do you need to move because of those stairs? What is speaking up to you? What are you feeling, and are you feeling safe where you're living? We need to feel safe. If we did not feel safe in this space right now, as we age together, we'd be out of here. We would be out of here. I don't know why, but I really think it's about the language that surrounds the industry, that we just dig our heels in and we just like, you're gonna take me out feet first. I'm not going, you're not gonna place me. I don't wanna place you. I want you to play. What does that take, right? What is it that you need so that you don't feel isolated, so that you can get out there and enjoy? And it's all about that inner voice. The minute something speaks up, people are gonna doubt you. People are gonna say, you're not that old. You shouldn't move. Oh, come on, your house is beautiful. Why would you? They're not living what you're living. They're not paying your mortgage. They're not living your isolation, loneliness, struggles to get groceries. They're not the ones. You're living it. Whatever that little voice says, listen to it and tune into it. We all need a sounding board. Who is around you that you are comfortable in speaking with to discuss these big things? I was really afraid at the top of the stairs. I was holding my laundry. I thought I was going to tumble down. What do I do? Do you think I could bring my washer dryer upstairs? Do you think I should bring my bathroom downstairs? What about selling my house afterwards? How is that going to affect the cost of it? We need to have people that we can turn to, that we feel safe with, where we are vulnerable, so that we can discuss this. But somebody who's married, as it was for my parents, 5 children, that conversation was closed and the couple decided what they wanted. Somebody who's widowed doesn't have that sounding board or that pillow talk. Where do they go for that conversation? They can turn to their children. The children aren't living with them, don't really know the daily struggles. So where do you turn to for your sounding boards? Build those. Adapt them, adjust them, but bring those people in because they're so important. And we're all living a different setup. Your cane is not my cane. It might serve the same purpose to allow us to go farther, but it's a different model. It's specific to me and my needs. Go ahead. So when you're thinking of adapting and adjusting, which I tend to think should be regularly, what's feeling off, right? What is it that is, like, is it emotional, physical, financial? It's like worrisome. Who can you talk to? Who can you turn to feel safe? We need to be vulnerable, but it does take a lot of courage. But what I encourage is that we don't dig our heels in. Stay on our toes. If we turn to animals in nature, they adapt. They fly farther. They get what they need, right? I think we need to be like that. So to adapt and adjust, what is it? What are we doing? Can we hire a service for the snow removal this winter? Can we hire garden care? Adapted clothing? Go and buy something different that feels better on my skin, less tight, so I'm more comfortable? All of these things to me are about adapting and adjusting. And I want to go to my art class. How do I get there? There's a strike, right? Who can help me get there? I have trouble with my stairs, so do I rent a ramp? Do I install a ramp? I'm getting scared getting in and out of the bathtub. Can I modify to a shower? Is it better for the cost of my house to keep a bath? How do I put my socks on? I don't care how you get your socks on. I just want you to have socks on, right? I want that for you, for you, for you. Everybody. We all did it today. We got dressed, we ate, we took our medication, we played, and we're here. Everybody should have that, right? And updating your documents too is very important. I am very visual. When you play with Play-Doh or when you pick up Play-Doh, it's very crumbly and you can't really shape it. But the more we talk it, the more we warm it up, the more we're able to shape something with it. But if I were to build a giraffe out of Play-Doh and put it down, the neck would probably break off if I were to just pick it up and start trying to work it again. Every time, it's about restarting the conversation. Don't assume that when you left me last week, we can pick up right where we left off. Warm me up again with the thought of, hey, I want you to play. What are you doing? How are you doing it? What are your struggles? What's feeling heavy? But warm me up before you arrive with, rawr, like an ask, right? So to me, if we keep a visual of Play-Doh and just remember to warm up that conversation, that's the only way we can shape it. There are a lot of legalities along the way, so I help seniors find the proper retirement residence. I help them move. By doing that, I also help them downsize and light size and right size and go through every drawer, every piece of paper, every garbage, everything that's in the house, everything I touch, so that we get them ready for the move. There's a lot of things that I touch on a legal aspect. If you're selling your house and moving into an apartment, is your landlord okay for you to install those bath bars? What are you drilling into? A tile is not the same approach as gyprock. We want you safe so that it can hold your weight, right? Where is it being installed? How is it being installed? If you're breaking your lease, what kind of notice do you need to break your lease? If you're selling your house, what type of paperwork do you need? I helped a nephew at one point go through his uncle's estate. I found the aunt's deed for a house that she had sold. I did not shred or rip or get rid of that piece of paper because I thought it was very important. I put it aside. He said, "Thank you so much," because my uncle's estate was hinged on my aunt's deed where he inherited a part. If you touch a legal paper, think income tax, selling property, think different things of what you might need for a will, a power of attorney. Boil it down, we're all a legal entity. How are we paying our income tax? And what box it's fitting into, right? So as you start sorting or adapting or adjusting, pay attention to the different legalities that surround everything that you do. The best gift you can offer yourself is to put order to your paperwork. What a pain in the butt to take care of paper. Allow your sounding boards to come in to help you, to accompany you. There's nothing more enjoyable than sharing a task that's not fun to do because you get to talk. It sounds back and it bounces off, and maybe they help you see differently too. So allow people in to help you. Share your life's wishes. I want to know. I don't know, unfortunately, if you have a stroke and you can't communicate anymore. What do you want? What do you like? What do you want for yourself? You know? Do you really like lasagna and you really want to make sure you have it every Tuesday? Tell me. That way I'll know and I'll make it happen, right? But what is it that you want for yourself? I find we're so silent in this conversation because of the language and the bulldozing that surrounds it, that we're so close to it. But if we use empowering language and an invitation to talk about it, I find it opens up. Allow yourself to be advised by professionals. They see differently. If it doesn't feel right in the belly, reach out to another professional. Reach out to your sounding board and share your thoughts. And as life happens, if somebody passes away, if a divorce happens, Update your papers. They are for you and for you alone. Married or not, your will is your will. Your power of attorney, who will be there to help you, to care for you? Share those wishes and say them out loud. In a place where you can and are allowed to feel vulnerable. And always pay attention to your nervous system. That speaks louder than words. If something feels off, listen to it, because this is for you, this is your life, this is your radiance, and make it happen. To me, adapting and adjusting, staying on our toes and not being dug in is really about right-sizing our life. What is that? You tell me. What is it right now that's like, that was hard coming down the stairs this morning. I had difficulty taking off my pajama pants. Like, do I need to go to the gym to make that better for myself? Do I need more flexibility? Is it time to get a physiotherapist or somebody to help me with my exercise, my diet, my legalities? What is it that I need right now? So what's feeling heavy? I work in different lives with different people. I just dealt with somebody who is financially on the brink of disaster. I saw what that kind of a house looks like, where they hide paper, where they just try and hide their debts and not admit to the life that they're living. I've seen what alcohol does to families in their belongings. It's not easy. It's heavy. But I can tell you one thing. It can really be really beautiful when we lighten up and let go of things that are holding us down. Do we need to carry all that weight? That was the life that was built, but today is today, and it can be a new breath. And I invite you to have that new breath as you stay light on your feet. And you're the one who holds that power to lighten up. And where to start? I would really say have those hard conversations. What do you want for yourself? What are you planning? Where are your goals? I want to be on a cruise ship in 5 years in Greece with whoever. How am I planning that? Do I need to sell my house? Do I need to do that now? What am I planning for myself? And share it and celebrate it with those around you so that it feels light. Update your paperwork as life takes turns and keep it alive, but do have those hard conversations. And what is it that you want for yourself? Adapt and adjust as you go. The more action you take, the more power it provides you. People will be inspired by what you're doing. Doesn't matter how old you are or how young you are and where you're going to live. And it's like, oh, what is she doing? What is he doing? Oh my God, he just bought whatever. That permission to live our life, right? The decision tree is always a tough one. What do I need? Who can provide it? Where are my fears and hesitations? What's my timeline to make it happen? If I want to go to Greece in 5 years, am I speaking to my financial advisor, my dietitian? How am I going to get there, right? And make it happen. But one thing that's really important too is to reward ourselves along the way. And there's one word that I work with, and that's the word honor. Honor where you're at, honor each process, and honor every step. Make it light and adapt and adjust, because it's not about putting or placing or bulldozing somebody somewhere. It's really about living. And if it feels right, it feels light. And I believe that's my presentation. And I want to thank you so much. But this is my life's work to create change in our language. This summer I went to the Oxford Dictionary. If you look up the word put, the suggestion for how to use the word put is to put mom in a nursing home. If you look up the word placer in a French dictionary, placer une personne âgée dans une résidence pour personnes âgées. Let's change that one word at a time. Thank you.
Do we have anybody in the room that can ask a question? Yes, the lady in the back here.
So the question is, if the sound wasn't loud enough, is for a senior who's isolated and doesn't know the different types of services and they need a sounding board, where do they go? I would say let's turn to our intuition and let's open our front door.
And if I might add, One of the reasons we record these sessions is that they are on our social media platforms and our website. And Seniors Action Quebec also has an interactive map where, because we know in our community, a lot of our adult children have left the province. So you could have a son or a daughter in Calgary or Toronto, and all of a sudden mom or dad, grandma has a problem in Quebec. Where do they go? So if they go on our website, they will find a lot of resources because we cover the province of Quebec. So there could be a mom in Gaspé or the Magdalen Islands or Blanc or the Laurentians, even Laval. So they can find resources and community organizations that could direct them to services. And of course, in Quebec, we have the local CLSCs, and we've had a traditional history of not using them, but I think we know now, with the difficulty of getting into a hospital or getting a GP, more and more people are having active files with their CLSCs, so those are some solutions.
But I also think we need to go to trust. Trust in understanding what I'm living, trust in accepting that I'm aging, trust in accepting that the stairs are too hard for me right now, and that just to understand that I have the power to be able to change that. I'm not stuck. I'm not stuck where I am, and don't talk to me because I'm stuck where I am. But I think we need to soften the conversation towards aging and make it more inviting and discussable so that we all talk about it whatever age we're at, because at 36 we can break an ankle and he's going to be aging without a pay for a few weeks. So how does that go? But to me, it's about softening and having trust.
Okay, let's move on because we don't have a lot
ahead.
of time. Erica.
So I was just agreeing that there's an internal process that has to happen, but externally and in the community, it's really hard to find, the hardest to reach. Like, people coming to community centers are the people that know about community centers. What about the people who don't know that they exist and who don't, and there are some programs supported by the government, right? There's the ITMAV program. So there's people across the province who are employed to find those most vulnerable people, which is kind of neat. There's social geriatrics as well through Fondation Age. They're also working really hard to find the most vulnerable people. And then there's also the senior wellness centers as well. Yeah. And we're working with them on outreach and finding those people too. So there's an internal shift that has to happen, and there's like a community shift and support that has to happen as well.
And it has to happen in the media too, just in terms of the language we use. But it's also, some people are like, leave me alone. I'm okay to leave you alone. I just want to know that you're safe and okay. I don't want you to burn this building down, right? And I want you to be able to play. But just know that I'm here if you need, right?
Paulina, do you have a question?
What if you have a very tight budget, live alone, have no family for that? What are free or cheap services, advice from physio, etc.?
So let's see.
So I use a broccoli elastic to strengthen my toes. I think there are different things that we can use as resistant tools to strengthen our body. And I think I can use a wall and push my body up away from the wall and have that be a push-up. It doesn't cost anything. The positioning of the body is the most important, but I think that we can boil it down to have the most simple things accessible to us, no matter what the budget is.
In fairness,
Yep.
lady behind.
Just behind.
Thank you for your presentation, because I think you had a lot of good ideas. But you talked a lot about selling houses and moving from a house or modifying a house. But what about a lot of people who don't have the funds to do that? And don't have a house? Maybe they're in an apartment. What ideas do you have for inexpensive ways to modify wherever someone's living?
So my first thought goes to safety and security. I would say, who are your neighbors and who can respond when I knock? If I knock on the floor when I fall, who can be there to help me? Who has a key to come in, to step in to help me? Speak to your landlord. Maybe your landlord is willing to adapt different parts of his building or her building to make it more inviting to other people as well. So sometimes other people can front the cost for you. I know that there are different tax credits or programs as well that can help you adapt a bathroom and different things. Ask if you can have a ramp in the front. See if the grocery store delivers to your place. Like, reach out to the community around you to see who can assume the cost for you. And sometimes the CLSC too can really provide a lot of different support, guidance, or lead you to the proper avenues.